a face carved in stone for millennia, hides a question that has lasted just as long. A silent sentinel watches over the sands of time. Its body is that of a lion, powerful and immense. Its head is that of a human, a king gazing toward the eastern horizon. For millennia, the Great Sphinx of Giza has guarded the pyramids, a monument of breathtaking scale and profound mystery. Its stone face, weathered by countless sunrises, holds a serene yet inscrutable expression. But this ancient visage is incomplete. A prominent feature is conspicuously absent. The nose is gone. This single stark imperfection has given rise to one of history's most persistent questions. Who broke the Sphinx's nose? An act of malice? A quirk of nature? Or something else entirely? The story of this missing piece is as complex and captivating as the monument itself. The Sphinx is an artifact of an almost unimaginable age, carved from a single colossal outcrop of limestone bedrock on the Giza Plateau, a marvel of ancient engineering and artistry. It sits in a vast trench, its paws outstretched, a silent witness to the rise of dynasties, empires, civilizations. People from all over the world make the pilgrimage to stand before it, to feel the weight of its history and the power of its silent stare. One of the most popular and enduring stories about the Sphinx's nose points a finger directly at Napoleon Bonaparte and his French army. The tale is dramatic and easy to visualize. It paints a picture of foreign soldiers far from home using the ancient monument for target practice during their Egyptian campaign in 1798. The cannonball strikes, a plume of dust erupts, and a piece of world history is callously destroyed. This narrative has been repeated in countless books, films, classroom anecdotes. It offers a simple, straightforward answer with a clear villain, making the complex history of the Sphinx digestible and memorable. The image of Napoleon's troops defacing the monument is a powerful one. However, as compelling as this story is, it crumbles under the weight of historical evidence. The key to debunking this myth lies in the records left by travelers who visited Egypt long before Napoleon. Detailed sketches and written accounts from earlier in the 18th century already depict the Sphinx without its nose. One of the most definitive pieces of evidence is a drawing made by the Danish naval architect Frederick Louis Norden. He explored Egypt extensively between 1737 and 1738 and published his illustrations in a book titled Voyage d'Égypte et de Nubie. His detailed etchings of the Sphinx, created 60 years before Napoleon's arrival, clearly show the face with its nose already missing. Show Norden's 1737 sketch. Show a modern photograph of the Sphinx, side by side Norden's sketch and modern photo, both showing the nose is missing. This predating evidence is irrefutable. Napoleon's soldiers could not have been responsible for damage that had already occurred decades earlier. In fact, Napoleon's expedition included a large contingent of scholars, artists, and scientists, whose mission was to document Egypt's ancient wonders, not destroy them. The French artist Vivant Denon, who accompanied the campaign, also sketched the Sphinx. His drawing, like Norden's before it, shows a noseless visage. With the Napoleon myth set aside, our investigation turns to an earlier and more plausible account of deliberate vandalism. This theory points not to foreign invaders, but to an internal act of religious fervor. According to the 15th century Egyptian historian Al-Makrisi, the nose was destroyed in the year 1378. He names a specific individual, Muhammad Sa'im al-Dar, a Sufi Muslim from a nearby Khanqa or spiritual retreat. Al-Makrisi writes that Sa'im al-Dar was enraged to see local peasants making offerings to the Sphinx, believing that the great statue could influence their harvest. To them, it was a powerful idol, a remnant of a pagan past still holding sway over their lives. In this account, Sa'im al-Dar viewed this practice as a form of idolatry. Determined to put a stop to this worship, he took matters into his own hands. He allegedly climbed the great statue and with brute force attacked the face, breaking off the nose. The story goes that his act of defiance had grim consequences. He was later arrested and executed by the local authorities for his vandalism, a testament to how seriously the monument was regarded even then. This theory has several points in its favor. First, it provides a specific date and a named individual, lending credibility that the Napoleon myth lacks. Second, the motive is historically consistent. The period saw many instances of iconoclasm, particularly targeting lifelike statues. However, we must approach this account with a degree of caution. While Al-Makrisi is respected, he was writing decades later. There is no corroborating archaeological evidence definitively dated to the 14th century, and some doubt a single man could inflict such damage. Beyond the dramatic tales of human intervention lies a quieter, more patient suspect: nature itself. A third major theory posits that the Sphinx's nose was not broken in a single violent act, but was gradually worn away. For over 4,500 years, the monument has been exposed to wind, sand, fluctuating temperatures. The statue was carved from limestone layers of varying quality, the head and nose from a relatively weak layer. Wind-driven sand acts like a natural sandblaster, slowly abrading surfaces. Thermal stress creates microcracks. Water and dew seep in. Salts crystallize and expand, wedging stone apart. Geologists like Dr. Robert Schoch have studied weathering patterns. While his age theories are controversial, the weathering analysis highlights nature's power. A close examination of the nose attachment shows deep vertical cracks and flaking consistent with long-term erosion. A sudden violent break would be cleaner. Slow grinding yields rounded, crumbled surfaces. This theory suggests the loss may not have been a single event. Perhaps a crack worsened over centuries, until a gust or minor tremor dislodged it. It's also possible multiple factors played a role. A deliberate blow may have weakened the nose. Nature finished it. Section 5. Clues in Parchment, the testimony of early travelers. Before the age of photography, the only way to see the wonders of the world was to go there, or rely on the words and drawings of those who did. For the Sphinx, these accounts provide snapshots across centuries, journals, letters, published volumes. Viewed together, a consistent picture emerges. The nose was gone long before the modern era, with variations mainly in facial wear and sand burial. These records help debunk popular myths and support both deliberate defacement and natural erosion, pointing to a critical window between the 14th and 18th centuries. Section 7. The Birth of a Legend, where myth meets reality. The story of the Sphinx's nose is a perfect example of how legends are born. Human beings are natural storytellers. We crave narratives that are simple, dramatic, emotionally satisfying. A complex, multifaceted explanation involving geology, religious history, the slow passage of time is often less appealing than a straightforward tale with a clear hero or villain. The myth of Napoleon's cannonballs persists because it provides a famous culprit, a dramatic action, and a simple cause and effect. It transforms a slow, ambiguous process into a single, memorable event, filling a vacuum of knowledge with a compelling story. In contrast, the evidence points toward a messier reality. The account of Muhammad Sa'im al-Dar, while plausible, is from a single medieval source. The scientific evidence for erosion points to a process with no single protagonist, an impersonal force of nature. The most likely truth is a convergence. Imperfect stone, weakened by millennia of weathering. Then a human agent, perhaps the Iconoclast, delivering blows that fractured the nose, with prior decay making the destruction easier. This interplay between fact and fiction is what makes the mystery so compelling. The missing nose is a physical fact, a void in the stone. The myths are the stories we tell to explain that void. We often prefer the thunder of a cannon to the silent, patient work of wind and time. But the truth of the Sphinx is more likely a long story of slow decay, punctuated by a moment of human violence, a narrative mirroring history's untidy nature. The evidence strongly suggests the Sphinx lost its nose long before Napoleon, a likely act of 14th century iconoclasm, abetted by wind, sand, and salt, left a scar that time still deepens. The Great Sphinx guards its silence, and its missing nose remains one of Egypt's greatest mysteries.